Today we will start the 365 Days RPG Maker MZ Game Creation Challenge. Let's get started. First, we'll go ahead and set up our project. Just to kind of give everyone a background of the game that I'm working on. It's an educational game for a younger audience, focusing on learning words and numbers through various adventures. That's the theme behind this video game. As usual, this is the folder name. This is the game title. All right, RPG Maker MZ is creating the file template for the project. While we're waiting for RPG Maker MZ to done, I'm creating the template. The first step is really creating the game template. The next step is really working with your tile sets. So for this episode, that's really what we're going to focus on, working with the tile sets. Obviously, we've gone through this before. RPG Maker MZ has the default tile sets that are already in the video game. And there are different types. Some tile sets are created for the overworld. Some tile sets are created for the outside, which is like a town. Some tile sets are created for the inside, which is inside of your house. And then dungeons are for caves and forests and things like that. And then you have two sci-fi types. But for me, if you look at the overworld, for example, you have the common tile sets here, but that doesn't mean that you have to leave this as is. So what I like to do is look at my tile sets and recreate my own modified versions of the tile sets. And those tile sets, what I will always do is just import them into the video game. I've already taken the liberty of doing that ahead of time. So the next step for me, now that the template has been created, I'm going to go ahead and import the tile sets that I created. Go to Tools, obviously, Resource Manager. Select the tile set folder and click on Import. Whenever I create my own tile sets, I always try to put my own little naming on the tile set. It's very straightforward. So for all of my tile sets, if I'm modifying the default tile sets, I'll just put the version of the program I'm using and then leave the name. So for example, if I'm putting the inside B tile set, I put my MZ tile set. So these are all this will let me know exactly which tile sets I want to import in the video game, just to make it easier. These are all the tile sets I've recreated or modified to help me with the game. I want to make sure I'm grabbing every single one so I don't have to come back here. I think I have all of them. Once I've imported the tile sets in, now you kind of have to go ahead and set up your tile sets. Go to database, Some tile sets are for the overworld, some of them for the outside world. It all depends on however you decide to create them. So all right, let's go ahead and set up our tile sets. We'll start with overworld. For A1, let's take a look. Yeah, I like this map, so we'll leave that in. A2. Yes, very good. A3, which is for buildings, even though it's overworld. I like to actually put, I guess, the building and things of that nature on the land, even though it's the overworld. So let's bring in the one of my tile sets here. Outside A3, yeah, that'll work. All right, A4. I've already switched A4 here to my outside A4 tile sets that I created. And some of the changes that I made here is I changed some of these heading tile sets sections here, brought in some of the older tile sets that I had because I actually like the texture a little bit more than what was in the default tile set. A5. I'll bring in outside A5. Like I said, if you think about it, the overworld is really a high level view of the world, right? The outside is really a town, but at the same time, even though you're in the air, sometimes you can still see structures. So that's why I like to take certain parts like the A3s and then the A5s and bring them the outside tile sets in, just in case you do want to add some of those types of tiles on the overworld map that you're going to create. For world B, let's see. Yeah, that looks good. World C, I think I'm gonna change that. For now, you know what? I'll leave that for now. That's fine. For D and E, I've decided to add 2 more world tile sets. Some of the old tile sets that I had from some of my old systems, and then the extra. Where is it? Need to apply overworld. There's 1 tile sets that I need to import here. It's my extra tile set and my BA tile set. That's what, like I said, if you do it right the first time, you save yourself some time. So now I'll change my world C to the BA that I like. I prefer these types of tile sets there. World B1, that's fine. And then I'll put my extra. Perfect. All right. That basically is the setup I'm going to have for my overall tile sets. My outside tile sets. Same process. I'm going to switch my outside 1 to my own modified version of outside 1. Outside 2 to my modified version of outside 2. Outside 3, I'm going to leave as is. Outside 4 to my modified version of outside 4. Outside 5, leave as is. B to my modified version of outside B. And really all that's doing here, guys, there's certain sections that I prefer to have. For example, They were on the default, it has two buildings here. There's no reason to have two structures here. I decided to take that out and put my own information in here as well. Some of them are going to be things that I create myself. Others are going to be other items that I got from VX Ace or any of the older RPG makers or Tilesets that I've created myself. So you want to bring them in. You want to be as efficient as possible. See my outside C. Because if you look at what I did here, I changed the heading of the structure. Certain pieces from the default I kept. Others, I changed them based on the plan that I currently have on how my structures are going to look in the video game. D, do I want to put anything here? Yeah, I can always take this one out, so I'll put it in for now. And then E, same thing. I'll bring in the extras. All right. I know, guys, this is not the most fun part of the video game, but this is really necessary when you're trying to build a game. So the sooner you know exactly what your Tilesets are going to look like, the better it is for you to actually create your game, and the quicker you can actually get the game done. In 365 days, that means you got to work fairly fast. So do the proper setup at the beginning. For the inside, let's see, do I want to change anything here? Yeah, I'll change the inside B. I'll change my inside C. And I brought in some furniture just in case I need them. Same thing, I apply. You can set up the dungeon as well. Why not? Let's just do it now. For dungeon, do I want to switch anything here? Dungeon 1, dungeon 2, 4, and 5, B and C. Let's see. One quick look. No, I like the water. No, the turf looks good. No, those walls work. No, the floorings there work as well. All right. So this looks good for now. I already have all the main 4 tile sets set up. If I want to come back and make 2 minor tweaks to the dungeon, I always could. If I want to include my modified version, just like I said before, it's all about remembering that any changes you make in one set of tiles, it will flow through the entire game. So if you remove something, it's going to remove it in every single location where that particular tile was placed on the map. So be careful with that. But once you're done setting up your tile sets, you're now ready to start creating your first map. So guys, now that we've actually set up our tile sets, next time we will start setting up the maps. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a comment and subscribe below for future content.